Hey everyone, welcome to a new video. Today we have the wonderful story of Henry Sugar. I'm very excited about this. I'm a big Wes Anderson fan. I've seen his entire filmography. And it looks great. It looks great. We have a short today. We have a short every single day now for 4 days, I think. I think it's 4 shorts. Next one is Poison, I believe. I will be reacting to each. I'm not too sure how much footage I can even show from the later ones. For this one, I'm allowed to show 5 minutes of footage to stick by copyright rules. As for the rest of them, they're a little shorter, so I'm not too sure how editing is going to be for them, but I will make sure to get them out. If it comes to it, that I'll just react to that and then react to the others days later, and then I'll drop the full video. I'm not too sure, but as for this one, this will be a separate video. I'm very excited. Yeah, Benedict Cumberbatch, Ralph Fiennes, Dev Patel. Who else is in this one? I know it's kind of different actors each project. Rupert Friend, Ben Kingsley. All right, so we've basically got everyone in this one. Because I know obviously the other shorts are about different things. We'll see. We'll see. This is obviously Roald Dahl's. It's an adaptation of a Roald Dahl story. Wes is obviously very good at that, with Fantastic Mr. Fox being one of his most popular and critically acclaimed films. It's not one of my favorites, but I still love it, and I've not seen it in a while, so I'm sure if I revisited it, I would love it even more. But I'm excited. So without further ado, let's get right into the wonderful story of Henry Sugar. Sorry. Let's go.
Important. Before I start, I like to make sure I have everything around me that I'm going to need. Some coffee, chocolates.
I love his aesthetic. So nice. Ralph Fiennes is so good. He should have been nominated for Grand Budapest Hotel. Was he? I don't think he was.
Henry Sugar was 41 years old, unmarried and rich. He was rich. He was selfish to share any of his money with a wife. He was 6 feet 2 inches tall and not perhaps as handsome as he thought he was. The bad men, but...
I love Ralph. He's so good.
The 10 million is never enough, nor is 20 million. Always they suffer the insatiable longing for more money.
So good.
The terror of waking up one morning and finding nothing in the bank. Some by land or art or...
Wes he's just fantastic. He's so good.
Countryside to stay with Sir William W. The house was magnificent, so were the grounds.
Now this does feel very Asteroid City.
While Henry glumly stared out at the drops splashing against
This is so good.
And finally mooched into the library. Sugar wasn't interested. The only books he read.
Benedict Cumberbatch is so perfect for this kind of film. For just Wes. So I hope he gets cast for a feature.
Exercise book of the kind that children use at school. Settled himself into an armchair and started from the beginning. The following is what Henry read in the little blue exercise book.
Dev.
There's a knock on the door. Come in, I said.
Oh, it's so good. Come in, I said.
Room, I said.
Yes, I know.
I said.
You may bandage my head with 50 bandages in any way you wish, and I will still be able to read you a book.
Come in, please.
I wish Dev was in more stuff nowadays. He's not really in much. Oh, that's Richard.
I said.
3.
Once more, I said.
3 again.
Once more.
No fingers. After today, tonight we give our opening performance at the Royal Palace Hall. I am billed on the program as Imdad Khan, the man who sees without his eyes.
See his eyelids. I led Imdad Khan down the long hospital corridor to the surgery.
Lie down there, please, I said. I took a small bottle of collodion from the cupboard.
He's just showing off. This is a short film.
Too sticky. Pleasure.
Dev's. Give me a feature film with this cast.
Great Scott.
Did you see that? He put his hand right on the doorknob.
You saw that trolley. This is absolutely unbelievable.
Marshall didn't answer.
It was rigid with shocked disbelief.
Imdad Khan went down with no trouble.
Oh, Wes Anderson.
How they reacted.
The waiting crowd of 100 barefoot children.
Can we do this every year? Every time Wes has a feature film coming out, can we also have a collection of short films at the same time? Please?
I think we just witnessed a miracle. Enjoyed it. The juggler, the snake charmer, the fire eater, the sword swallower.
I was about to say, what a great shot, as if every other shot so far has not been great.
One of Imdad Khan's hands and a length of cotton thread in the other. An enormous magnifying glass was positioned in front of him. And, with no false moves, he neatly threaded the thread through the eye of the needle.
I don't know where he gets it. I don't know where this creativity comes from.
I give it to you now, exactly as you spoke it.
Weeks later, I took all my savings.
I ran away from home to join a travelling theatre company. That was in 1886. I was 13 years old.
He's so cool.
3 years.
He had encountered not so very far away in the densest jungle.
All of them.
That is impossible, he said.
From this point forward.
I wonder how much of this is practical
However,
and
one small thing. Time of day,
and a mix of camera tricks and a little bit of
companion signaled to halt the car, dismounted, and was
FX,
gone. I pretended to drive on, but
visual
just round the
effects,
corner,
or
I jumped down and snuck back along
I
the
don't know.
path. Already the
It's interesting.
man
I don't like. They might have just cut the top off,
rustling in the undergrowth.
put a blue or green screen, put a blue screen there.
About to be pounced upon, thoroughly thrashed, and eaten in little torn morsels of blood.
Keeping at least 100 yards behind.
I mean, this is practical.
Which was most of the time.
Matt, each movement he made was calm and gentle. He put his hands...
It's only
palm
been
downward,
14 minutes.
Took a long breath through his nostrils. And
Like,
already I could
his
see
storytelling
right
is so good.
was melting.
In the tree, I said to myself, there before you is a man sitting in the air upon the mat. I climbed down from my tree.
Great yogi was washing his
Suddenly, he picked up a brick and threw it at me so hard it broke in two as it struck my right leg.
leg just below the knee. I have the scar still. I'll show it you.
Now, what was the great yogi's instruction? Here it
I'm
comes.
so captivated.
The mind is a scattered thing.
I mean,
It concerns
short
itself with
films,
thousands of different kinds
I
of
mean,
ones.
it's not often
Things
short
you
films
think
do
around
that.
you, things you are hearing and
But
smelling, things you are thinking
this
about.
is a master.
This will take around 20 years of diligent daily continual effort.
20 years, I cried. The mind could just
Almost
Impossible.
I love this so much.
Rise and think.
from a blood disease. I concentrated on picturing his face, but the instant my mind
Began to wonder. I stopped the exercise, rested for several minutes, then I tried again.
I lit a candle and began by staring at the flame. A
I
candle.
like how this so far is pretty much, well, has been a story of a story of a story. It started with a story by Ralph about Henry Sugar, and Henry Sugar comes across a book, and the book's about
Then I shut my eyes
Doctor,
and began to concentrate
before
on
the
my
Doctor,
mother's face.
who then receives
1907,
writing
when I was
from
34 years old, I could
this guy.
concentrate
And we learn
completely
about this
without
guy.
any wonder-
I could see the outline of the object I was looking at. I thought of a thing the old yogi had said to me.
Certain holy people have been known to develop so great a concentration.
It must be so refreshing
without
for,
using
like,
their eyes.
actors like Ben Kingsley and Benedict to, like,
My exercises with a candle flame.
do a film where they just get to talk to the camera. Because, I mean, it's... Actors go so many years in their lives having to actively avoid the camera. It must be so refreshing for them to, like, do storytelling directly into a camera while simultaneously playing, doing a story that isn't, like... You talk to the camera, whenever people talk to the camera, it's either for comedic effect or if it's for, I suppose, documentaries and whatnot. But this is all fiction. So it's refreshing storytelling for these kind of actors, and it's great.
Image the brain.
Imdad Khan fell silent.
I mean, Benedict's perfect for this because of Sherlock. Because of the whole
Honestly, I do not know.
quick thinking. I am taking in the dialogue as well. I've obviously got subtitles on, but I also intend to rewatch.
He must be the money.
I wrote for 5 hours without stopping. At the locked doors. What happened?
Someone died.
Who? Of course, I already knew.
To sleep and never woke up.
I should never have allowed this precious man out of my sight. I should have given him my bed and taken care of him.
What a really fascinating story.
A terrific piece of information. This could change my life.
And now we're back.
Decided instead to visualize his own face.
As Henry stared into the tiny black area at the center of the candle flame, an absolutely blank, his brain
What
ceased
camera
fidgeting.
does Wes shoot on? I mean, so obviously color grading is, a big part of it, but Wes has been using a specific kind of camera since, well, since, I suppose, Asteroid City, to be fair. Maybe French
genuine enthusiasm
Dispatch.
for the progress.
If anyone knows, let me know.
The time had come. 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes. Henry doesn't move a muscle. His now highly developed concentration is absolute. He picks up the card and turns it over.
The sound effect.
I've done it, he said. Henry becomes a fanatic. He never leaves his life.
That was great.
Age hard work no longer bothers him. Of course, he's able to work for 12
There's
hours.
something that's so
He knows with absolute certainty
calming about this short.
the last 2 seconds.
It's
of
so
life
easy
is
to
11 months.
watch and
But late one Saturday afternoon,
listen to, the rhythm of the dialogue, the directing, the story. It's so like
5 seconds. 5 seconds. How long does it take?
like with the pacing being very quick, I feel like
Years and 3 months of uninterrupted effort.
it feels longer than it is, admittedly.
There were well over 100
But
legitimate casinos in
I could also watch this forever.
no less than- Said the man behind the desk whose job it was to never forget a face. He attended the master for the first time in Henry's life. He looked with distaste upon a room full of frankly horrible rich people. Henry searched for a young-ish man with black
I'm really
eyes.
surprised there's more short films coming out of this.
When necessary.
I don't know what they'll be about, but I just know it's similar cast.
He picked up a- He didn't
I
need
think
to
one of
count
them
them.
stop
Those nimble
motion.
fingers were never wrong. He slipped the
Rat
card to Henry.
catcher or
As Henry
something.
stacked his- The dealer came round again to Henry. He said,
19.
and passed on to the next player. Wait, said Henry. Another card. The dealer shrugged and dealt it. The two of clubs.
I love this.
Henry had unbalanced it. He'd rarely have ever seen any.
It's funny, is
This fellow had drawn a 19 with the
the
clubs.
rest of the stories are more fascinating than the one right now, because obviously this is a story of a man trying to do
He
what
attracted attention.
another story did.
He was never himself lose occasionally.
There's something about just
Henry's advantage was
Benedict,
so enormous, he had to
and I suppose the setting as well, that it's
sum
just
in an hour. He'd won 30,000
so
pounds.
captivating.
There he stopped. Doing this, he might suddenly begin to feel unwell.
This is going to be so difficult to edit because it's so quick.
He decides to go
So
to
much
Henry.
dialogue.
He takes off his clothes. He walks naked to the cupboard to put on his pajamas. He's
Hmm.
about to die. For a work of fiction, this story isn't fiction. This story is fact. The only thing about it is Henry's name, which wasn't Henry Sugar. His name has to be protected. Still must be protected.
Wow.
Man, he couldn't understand why he felt so little excitement about this tremendous success. This sort of thing had happened 3 years before he started the excitement. He'd been rushing
I
off
think
to
this might be one of my favourite Wes
He
projects,
didn't feel excited.
and
He felt sad.
I've only seen
Every time he made a bet, he
30
was
minutes
certain
of it.
to win.
I'm so glad this is on Netflix, because this is going to definitely give it that Oscar push, and more people get to see it.
What do you think you're doing?
Good morning, officer. I'm sorry about the crowd. I was just giving away some money.
You're inciting a riot.
I had a tremendously lucky night.
Henry gave the name of his club and the policeman wrote it down in a little book.
Check it up. They'll tell you it's true.
The book.
I don't care.
Not whatsoever. Somewhere it'll do some good. A hospital, for instance, or an orphanage. There's hospitals and orphanages all over the country.
Stairs and banged down to the front.
Good point.
Henry didn't move. Tingling through his entire body, and they began to come to him
I'm
with
glad
great
that
idea
Wes's
that
next
was
film's
to
got
change
Michael
everything.
Cera
Henry started
in.
pacing up and down.
Poor. £50,000 a night for 365 days a year. That's 18.25 million pounds.
5.
Sir. 6. I'll take the money I make and establish hospitals and orphanages.
Then that's why you hire Benedict Cumberbatch.
As a dream, that sounds corny and sentimental, but as a reality, and I think I can actually make it work.
Henry died last year, aged 63, from a pulmonary embolism.
A remarkable man has died recently. His name was Henry Sugar. I think people ought to know a bit about what he has done for the world. I'm coming, I said. In Lausanne, I met John. You keep calling him Henry Sugar, yet you tell me that wasn't his name. Don't you want me to say who he really was?
I suppose it'll probably leak out sooner or later. After all, he was from a fairly well-known English family, but I'd appreciate it if you didn't try to find out. Please, just call him plain Henry Sugar.
Ah, and there we go. That is the wonderful story. The wonderful story of Henry Sugar. Absolutely loved it. Absolutely adored that. That was fantastic. I loved that. I loved that so much. That was so good. That was it. And I feel like as well, because some people feel like, or say, you know, it's Wes Anderson's stuff is kind of like a boring gimmick now. Oh, sorry, I just got a notification. Some of that he just, it's getting tiring. It's the same story. He's doing it for the comedy, he's doing it for this, that. But I feel like there's so much you can study from his films. I mean, not only from an aesthetic side, obviously I don't think from a directing standpoint there's, infinite uniqueness to it, in the way that, like, every shot tells an incredible story, kind of thing. Wes tells a story, but he tells it in a very unique way, so it's fine. Like, it's so hard to talk about Wes Anderson because his style is so unique. No one does it like him. No one attempts to do it like him. But there's so much narratively that you can break down. And then that's when you begin to realize the significance of the directing and whatnot. But I'd say for the past few Wes Anderson films, you can kind of look at it and go, it's directed the same. It's unique and different every single time and impressive every single time. But it's directed very similar. It just tells a different story. Therefore, blah, 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 blah. But this one, I mean, it was unique. It was a story within a story within a story. I loved the fourth wall breaks. I wish Wes would do more fourth wall breaks again. I know he did it with Asteroid City a little bit, but not as much. But it's... Yeah. No, I loved that. I can't wait to revisit it. I mean, I'm going to revisit it when I'm editing, but... No, I'm very interested in the upcoming shorts as well. Which ones we have? We have Poison, The Swan, and The Ratcatcher. So The Swan's with Rupert Friend. Obviously, he wasn't in this one, which even though he was credited, Ralph Fiennes plays Roald Dahl in The Swan. Poison, Dev Patel, Benedict Cumberbatch, Ralph Fiennes, and Ben Kingsley. So again, we kind of get that main cast again. And The Ratcatcher is Ralph Fiennes, Rupert Friend, and Richard Ayoade. I can't wait for those. I really can't wait. I absolutely loved that. Absolutely loved it. Let me know in the comments below what you thought of the wonderful story of Henry Sugar. Is there something about this story that really reached out to you? Is there an aspect in this story, whether it was Henry's story, whether it was... Which story really stood out for you? Because, I don't know, the story of Henry Sugar was fantastic, but I also really liked Ben Kingsley and the Doctor stuff. It's great, yeah. Thank you for watching the video. If you're new here, feel free to subscribe, comment, like, good stuff, my Instagram, Twitter, Letterboxd down below, for them. Thank you for watching, have a great day.